Thanks to new legislation flooding in over the last few years in California, it's now possible for almost any single-family property to have an ADU built on it. Even multifamily properties can get the ADU treatment too, but the fact of the matter is that some properties are just better suited than others. In today's video, we're going to detail what characteristics to look out for if you're in the market to buy a new property, whether you're an investor or you're just looking to buy a home for yourself. Let's first talk about the best cities for building ADUs in California. At the very top of the list is where Maxable got its start, San Diego. San Diego is not just good for sunshine. San Diego has some of the most progressive regulations for building an ADU, allowing ADUs up to 1,200 square feet and even larger for conversions. The only drawback is that ADUs are not allowed to be used for short-term vacation rentals, or anything under than 30 days. Coastal overlay zones are another thing to look out for, as permitting can take longer and is usually more expensive. But we actually have another video that goes more in depth on that already on our YouTube linked here. Now, Los Angeles follows close behind with similar regulations. However, note that Los Angeles has some of the longest permitting waiting times that we've seen, at least from our perspective at Maxable. Nonetheless, the city shows great initiative to boost ADU production, even going so far as to launch a pre-approved ADU plans program. We did a full breakdown of these Los Angeles plans, which we'll link to in the description here. And finally, another great city for ADU development is San Jose, which launched their ADU Universal Checklist, their ADU online portal, and ADU Tuesdays, where you can walk in and speak to their building department directly to ask questions. Now, these are just the top 3 cities in California for ease in building ADUs. But most cities throughout California are ADU friendly, as they recognize the need for affordable housing and more housing. Now, plenty of other cities, even outside of California, like Portland, Oregon, and Austin, Texas, are making headway towards streamlining the ADU process. So we're excited to see these developments in the coming years. As an example there, Austin is currently trying to pass new regulations that would allow ADUs in more zones, that would remove owner occupancy requirements for ADUs attached to the main house, and would allow garage conversions, which would be a big game changer for those Austinites in Austin, Texas. Now, after you decide which city to build your ADU, to acquire a property and build an ADU, it's time to start looking at actual properties and looking at these characteristics that will make building an ADU a lot easier. So things to look out for. First, a property with a detached garage is going to be your golden ticket. By now, most people know that a garage conversion is going to be the most cost-effective method of building an accessory dwelling unit. But detached is also going to offer the future tenant more privacy and therefore often a higher ROI. Now, if you find a property with a detached garage, that's great, but you'll also want to make sure the garage is structurally sound, has a foundation in good condition. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of work to bring it up to code for habitable space. And what if you'd rather not go the garage conversion route, but you want to build a brand new detached unit? Well, then your best bet is to find a property with a flat and a deep lot. Flat for obvious reasons. If you have any degree of sloping on your property, it's going to take some extra site work to get the land level enough for your ADU. And that always adds to the total cost of your project. Now, you'll want a deep lot simply to have more space for the ADU. Plus, you'll be able to push the ADU as far back as you want to ensure privacy. Just keep in mind that if you do decide to push the ADU all the way to the back of the property, you may have to pay more for trenching, utilities underneath the ground, since there's more distance from the main house or the main line to that ADU. Now, a property with alley access or a driveway that goes all the way to where you want your ADU is also going to be a big plus, but it's not required. This will just be easier for the construction crew to bring materials on site, to park their vehicles somewhere where neighbors won't complain. It's just easier. Now, finally, ideally you'll want a property within half a mile from public transit. In California, properties within half a mile from public transit do not need to include parking. This can be a bus stop, a train station, etc. However, if you intend on renting out your ADU or even living in it yourself and you live in a high traffic area, we always recommend adding parking anyway. You'll be able to price your ADU a little bit higher and you'll get a lot more interested renters. Plus, it just makes your tenants' lives a whole lot easier. So now what about multifamily properties? The big question that we get is, can you build an ADU on a multifamily property? And the answer is a resounding yes. So first we want to clarify what is considered a multifamily home. A structure with 2 or more attached dwellings on a single lot is considered a multifamily dwelling structure. So let's say you own an apartment building with 20 units. If your jurisdiction allows, you can convert accessory spaces to 5 ADUs. 5 is 25% of 20. These must be existing places like a basement or a clubhouse. So if you're looking to buy a multifamily property, look for properties with these types of existing spaces because they have a lot of potential. If you have enough space on your lot, you can also build 2 detached 800 square foot ADUs. So we have a full video on multifamily properties, property ADUs, which we'll link to in the description. We know you might have questions about cost and ROI, return on investment, and we'll have a full video breakdown coming soon. So make sure you subscribe so that you're notified when that video comes out. Now, once you have your property locked in, congratulations and get in touch with Maxable. No matter what property you decide on, Maxable can help you find a qualified and experienced ADU designer and general contractor to get your project completed. We've helped complete projects from tiny garage conversions to behemoth 2-story attached ADUs. You can learn more and sign up at maxablespace.com. We look forward to being part of your ADU journey. Thanks.